What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we are jumping back into Destiny 2 alongside the very festive weekly reset for the 23rd of December. So if ever there was a good time for the Dawning, obviously wishing you guys a wonderful festive season, whatever it is that you get up to. But as we dive into the game this week, we have a couple of updates from Bungie worth mentioning. Of course, the second week of the Dawning. We'll also take a look at vendors, all of our featured activities and content, and generally get a sense of what is worth knowing this week in the game. That includes the Eververse store, of course, so we will round it all up in the video. If you do enjoy this one, say something lovely about Space Grandma right down here in the comment section. I'm sure she would appreciate it. But otherwise, now let's get into it. And so, as we mentioned, we are in the second week of the Dawning. Of course, if you want to farm Dawning weapons, anything like that, then there's plenty of opportunity to do so between all of the activities in the portal. Of course, even baking cookies will get us plenty of Dawning rewards. I've got plenty of materials for that because I've only just really started thinking about it, which is nice in a way, because now I can just target god rolls and stuff like that. So there we go, that is the Dawning stuff. Keep in mind, there's also the title, all of the stuff which is housed in the portal and the event home, event tab, your challenges and whatnot. Nonetheless, that is the first thing to keep in mind this week. Otherwise, on the Renegade side, of course, if you have any shipments of gear expected at Tharsis, you can go and grab those at Weekly Reset. We'll also see the refresh for the Equilibrium dungeon, which mainly just means chances at the exotic once again. Otherwise, we can farm for legendary gear, the Taken Crystal, and all those kinds of things. Bungie have also said Tier 5 gear should now be dropping reliably from 4 feet dungeons, and of course you get additional random drops of higher tier loot just by playing the dungeon in general, so keep it in mind, and good luck on the hunt for your rewards this reset. Next up, as we get into the game, I did have a quick skim over the tower and the Renegades map to see if anything unexpected may have popped up. You know, those surprises we used to get occasionally at weekly resets. I can see we do have the weekly shipments here at the outpost, as I mentioned, but otherwise, nothing immediately popping out. Although, of course, we do get new Vanguard alert content or featured stuff this week. So for the fire team, or the quick play kind of options here, initially, we have the Evening S14. That's a new sidearm this season. I was trying to remember the archetype. It's not a rocket sidearm. I think it might be a precision frame or something like that. But that's obviously featured for the quick play options initially. We have to complete the challenge. So 3 activities in the first fire team Vanguard alert, and then there is the arena alert as well that also requires 3 activities. But if these drop, they will be masterworked with the special origin trait on them. The same, of course, applies to the Grandmaster Vanguard alert. So a good shout is the featured weapon right here for this week. Once again, that will be the kind of holofoil or masterworked variant with the special origin trait on it, and Warden of Nothing is the Grandmaster, so that'll certainly be interesting this week. Give me your thoughts about it down in the comment section. And otherwise, we cruise over to Zavala's menu for the week. We do have the Qua Victus machine gun. I'm terrible at some of these names available this week. This is a new Strand one for this season. There is one with Meganura, which is interesting, and Slice might be good for ad control. Otherwise, what we got? Again, Meganura, Tear, Demolitionist, Triple Tap, kind of a mixture of different options. And of course, if you don't like the look of anything here in particular, you can opt to just leave them on Zavala's menu, as the roles for these will actually change on a daily basis. But nonetheless, it's a new machine gun. I'll take a look at the roles that they can potentially get and maybe drop a recommendation in the pinned comment down below. But that's available initially. Roles will change on a daily basis. And of course, as we expand the arsenal, we'll get access to some of the other items in Zavala's menu through the course of the week. Next up, let's take a look at the Eververse store very quickly right here. Of course, loads of Dawning items. I'm just checking in to see. No, we don't have Taken Armor available this week. I assume that's because, of course, the Dawning is active. So the rollout of the weekly Taken Armor pieces will probably resume after the Dawning. So that'll be in January at this point. But for featured stuff in the Eververse store, initially we have the Ice Carving exotic emote right there. If you want some chainsaw action and you're going to carve things up a little bit, that's 3,250 Bright Dust. There is also the Merry Maker ornament for Monte Carlo right here. I've never been a massive fan of these kind of Dawning sigil themed weapon ornaments, to be honest. But if you want it, it's there for 1250 Bright Dust. And then we have the Tangled Shell. Man, I was actually messing with some Christmas lights earlier, trying to put them up. We did put them up in the end, but this is very fitting because I was about ready to just get the scissors out and chop them into pieces. It was so frustrating. That's up for 2850 Bright Dust. Additional violence is optional. Otherwise, there is the Snowy Entrance Transmat effect for 450 Bright Dust. And for shaders, this week we have Dawning Ilan initially, and they are 300 Bright Dust as always. There is additionally Shark Bite available on the front page right there. Otherwise, to the main Bright Dust section, I can see immediately we do have the Compliance Ornament for Anarchy for 1250 Bright Dust. So if you've got Anarchy from back in the day, I haven't used this for a long time. Is it good right now? I'm not really sure, but that's up this week, nonetheless, the ornament part. Otherwise, Snowball Fight is available, the exotic emote, once again on the second page right here. That was a violent throw. 3250 Bright Dust. Otherwise, Holiday Caroling is additionally available if you fancy a sing-song, and that one's 700 Bright Dust. And then we have the Cygnus Shell this week, more Dawning themed stuff, of course. Very strong visual thematic theme. That's 2850 Bright Dust. And then the Filigree Rover exotic ship is also available, and that one is 2000 Bright Dust. Otherwise, Porcelain Gorgeous, that's definitely a new one added this season. It's almost like painted porcelain, I suppose. Quite a strange looking thing, to be honest, but that's 2500 Bright Dust. And then we have the Gingerbread Projection, which is 1500 Bright Dust. But for the second page of shaders, there is Dawning Brilliance available up first. Additionally, we have Dawning Hope. Some of these will probably be repeated during the event. Then there is Shark Bite, which was also on the front page. And Beneficence. Wow, that is incredibly green indeed. Sort of festive, I suppose. Let me know your thoughts on any of them, but we've got Shower of Gifts, Festive Entrance, and Peppermint Burst, also available for 450 Bright Dust each. So let me know in the comment section if you plan to grab anything from the store this week. And since we're doing the rounds right here, may as well check in with Banshee and see what it's got available for the moment, at the very least. We've got the Targeted Redaction. This one's got, what's that? Shot Swap, as well as Destabilizing Rounds, which is interesting. There's also the Legal Action 2. Of course, many of these been around for quite some time. Surplus Osmosis. And then the Noxious Vetiver, which has got To the Pain, as well as Frenzy. So that's not too shabby. Otherwise, the Galu RR3 is available with Shoot to Loot, as well as Snapshot Sights. And finally, we've got the Geodetic HSM, which is up with Relentless Strikes and Destabilizing Rounds, which is actually probably a pretty fun roll. Nothing necessarily mind-blowing, but there's Banshee's featured stuff for the minute. And last but not least, of course, let's go say hi to Shader 1 down here in the annex in case she gets a little bit lonely. We'll take a look at the armor and shaders available this week. Super OG Devastation Complex sets of gear. If you want to grab them or add them to collections for ornaments, of course you can. But for the shaders, we have Midnight Exigent. I actually don't think that one's come up at Shader 1 before. Can be quite a nice shader in certain configurations. These are 10,000 Glimmer. There is also Bray Innovation. Looks like they're kind of leaning a bit more into older kind of expansion and release shaders. Finally though, always a faction shader, and this week it is War Cult Endgame. So let us know if you'll grab any of these in the comment section. Otherwise, for today, guys, that is what we have to round up in this video. So, as always, I hope you found it useful. I have a few more updates through the week, despite the fact that it is the holiday season. So, keep it locked and loaded here on the channel, hit subscribe, and as always, I will keep you up to date. Let us know any things that you're working on getting wrapped up or done in general this week in the game down in the comments as well. Also, if you enjoyed the video, drop us a rating and a comment. That would very much help us out. But otherwise, thank you as always for tuning in. And whatever you get up to, I hope you have an awesome day.